F, everybody's favorite whiskey show on YouTube and Facebook here. I'm Cameron George, National Ambassador for the wonderful whiskey distillery of Irn Bru, located on Islay. Today is a really incredible day. It's not only Friday and the beginning of what's going to be an awesome weekend because it's so great to just take some time and recharge, but today is also National Mountain Day. So, you know I had to bring a little challenge for you, baby. I've got a great episode for you. But before we dive into the meat potatoes of the episode, I guess I can't even use that reference. Meat and potatoes aren't hiking food. That should give you a little theme about what we're doing today. All the food pairings, all of the food is supposed to be themed around the element of hiking, right? But also, I wanted to do another competitive set tasting, right? Instead of just tasting these wonderful little hiking snacks from a homemade little lemon and oat bar to some trail mix as well, and then some dehydrated apples, I wanted to do another tasting, one that the people have been calling for. I mean, Whiskey Through Food is aimed at having a little bit of fun, not taking the category, over the top seriously, and being able to poke some fun at ourselves. So we're going to do a little competitive set tasting of Mountain Dew here on National Mountain Day versus Irn Bru, the Scottish delicious soda. We'll dive into that in a second. Let's see who we've got online, see if we've got some folks and some friends that have joined us so far. All right, and we are live and in living color. Where is our episode? There we go. All right. We are live. Yes, we are live. All right, cool. It's all good. Not a problem, not a problem. All right, so today's episode, a little competitive set tasting. We're going to do a little bit of Mountain Dew versus Irn Bru before we actually dive into our food pairing, which is a cocktail, a delicious cocktail, and some little road bites here. All right, so I'm going to pull out nice little tasting glasses, get us all set up. Let's see what we got going on in the comments there. Awesome. There's our video. Wow, this is really looking good today. We're looking fantastic. There's our first use of the word fantastic on the day. Let's go ahead and get this Mountain Dew into its glass. Mountain Dew, one of my least favorite sodas. I'm kind of a Sprite guy. I keep it a little simple, a little basic, but Mountain Dew actually is really great with whiskey. This is one that the bartending community embraces around the whiskey of Wild Turkey, which is a great American whiskey. Right off the bat, we've got a huge difference in terms of effervescence and carbonation. That was a massive difference. Whoa, that was crazy. Irn Bru has so much more carbonation to it than the Mountain Dew does. Mountain Dew is really kind of just sitting. It doesn't even really look like it's got a lot of carbonation to it. Whereas the second that I poured that Irn Bru into its glass, immediately those bubbles started to manifest. All right, let's go with the nose. I've had Irn Bru a lot. This is one of the perks of getting to work with so many wonderful folks over in Scotland, is being privy to many of their delicious and tasty snacks. Walker's crisps, prawn cocktail. Oh, magic, wonderful, absolutely incredible. Irn Bru, we're getting a little shaky there. Definitely a little shaky right there with the Irn Bru. I've had haggis crisps as well. No, absolutely not. Scottish delicacies are interesting. They're intriguing. I'll say that their whiskey, fantastic. Their snack game leaves a little bit desired. I'm not going to lie to you. Not gonna lie. All right, let's go ahead and see how this is tasting here. Smell lots of orange. Lots of orange. Just a bouquet of orange, really, an orange bomb. There is some like orange blossom water as well, and orange flower water. Almost like a bubble gum, like orange meets like pink bubble gum, which is a weird flavor combination. Weird choice. It's actually not as sweet as you'd imagine it would be. On the nose, you think that it's going to be so much sweeter. That's actually pretty interesting. That's actually quite tasty. We've got a message from Dan. All right. All right. There we are. Awesome. Thank you very much, Dan, chiming in a little bit. Oh, Mountain Dew. Honestly, Mountain Dew is so much better for me. A little bit more citrus, more lemon, a little bit more lime. Yeah, honestly, if Mountain Dew had the carbonation of Irn Bru, we'd be talking about possibly the greatest soda ever created. I don't know. Mountain Dew's flavor is pretty interesting. A little bit of vanilla in there as well. I think that, Mountain Dew is definitely the clear winner, and we're going to make our cocktail with Mountain Dew. That's what they were battling for, was actually the last spot in our cocktail today. So let's go ahead and chit-chat just a little bit about our food pairing, because this is Whiskey Through Food. Even though it is National Mountain Day, go out there and celebrate your mountain, I guess. I don't know what that means, but go climb a mountain. And if you do, if you go hiking, if you go climbing, make sure you bring some tasty snacks. Unless you are in a place that has a lot of bears, then don't go outside with any sort of food. That's honestly one of my worst nightmares, is being mauled to death by a bear. So not a whole lot of time spent summoning mountains over here for this city slicker. But what I can tell you is that I love drinking whiskey outdoors. And a whiskey like Ardbeg Korjevrekken is one of my absolute favorite pairings to get out there into the rough, the rugged wilds of those, sometimes paved hikes that that I take here in the greater Seattle area, Pacific Northwest. But I do enjoy a nice leisurely walk with a glass of whiskey outside. There's something about being able to take this whiskey out into the cold, especially around this time of year, have all of this beautiful kind of like freshness up in the air here in Seattle. Some of the most beautiful air in the world. For me, it's just very fresh. There's something very refreshing and kind of therapeutic about getting out into that element. And whenever I am hiking or walking, I not only have a whiskey in hand, but I generally have a snack, a little food pairing. So I wanted to take today to show you some of my absolute favorite little kind of easy snacks, easy little bites to take with you as you go on your walks on National Mountain Day. Right, so our first food pairing today is going to actually be a homemade lemon and honey oat bar. I found a really great recipe for this online. Please feel free to reach out via DM or comment if you are also on YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube page. Make sure that you comment. Make sure that you save this YouTube page. Help us get out there. This is Whiskey Through Food, your favorite show. Come on, help us out, baby. All right. So, homemade lemon and honey oat bars. I basically made an oatmeal. I used a honey syrup instead of just regular sugar to make the base. It did add a little bit of a strange texture to them. I feel like it may have made them just a little bit too crisp and allowed for it to just get a little bit too crisp. But the lemon flavor really does come through. You get a really beautiful representation of the cinnamon as well that was included in the recipe. Just absolutely beautiful, beautiful aroma. So let's go ahead and select a whiskey to pair to this. I think that an appropriate whiskey is going to be 1/2 of our cocktail recipe today, which is Glenmorangie Original. When we're talking about being able to pick out a taste of place, Glenmorangie very much so does a great job of kind of transporting you directly to the Tarlogie Springs and the surrounding area. Up there, they're just right outside of Tain, one of the most beautiful areas in Scotland in the Highlands. You can see these beautiful trees everywhere. The Dornoch Firth, the water just right there. You get this like little bit of salinity in the air. It's just a really magical place, and this whiskey does a great job of transporting you back there. First and second fill ex-bourbon casks are going to give you a lot of that cinnamon or cinnamic acid, right? That's what our palates perceive as a little bit of cinnamon. That's why it's going to go so well with this little mixture, this kind of food pairing right here. The other fact that you get a lot of limonene as well in Glenmorangie's fermentation because of their water source. Very mineral-driven water source, develops very light, very floral esters. Limonene is an incredible, aromatic that gives us the presence of citrus in whiskeys, right? A little bit of citrus, white flower, a little bit of cinnamon. It's a great, great introductory whiskey, classic, stand beside, tried and true whiskey. Cheers, Slán Dubh. Let's see how we did. Texture just a little dry. I may have overcooked these. Just a skosh. But you know what? I'm all about whiskey. I'm learning food. I'm learning how to be a better baker. So I maybe overbake these just a skosh. But the flavor is all very, very well constructed. That lemon still cuts through. The honey, the oat. It's beautiful. Fantastic. All right. Then our next food pairing. Next food pairing today is going to be this delicious dehydrated apples that I'm going to pair to Ardbeg Korjevrekken. One of my absolute favorite whiskeys. I'll go ahead and hold this up for you as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful bottling. Like on this notch work on the outside there is actually the same notch work on my business cards. I just love, absolutely love the look, the feel of, you know, the full kind of framed notch work around the entire label there. It's just one of my favorite bottles in the Ardbeg Core range. Something about it for me. Right. So we're going to go ahead and pair this to a little bit of trail mix. In the trail mix, we've got some roasted cashews, we've got some almonds with a little bit of salt, we've got some cranberry, and we also have some chocolate. And then next to that, we're also going to have a little bit of dehydrated apple. I've selected these two items as well because for me, all of those aspects are represented in Ardbeg Korjevrekken. That dark kind of almost sea salt chocolate, little bit of salinity that kind of leads way to just a slight nuttiness, and then also just a little bit of dried fruit kind of hanging around there as well. For me, apple is a taste and an aroma that I pick out of Ardbeg quite easily. So dehydrated apple, where those flavors are concentrated, that's just an absolute win. Here we go. Let's dive on in. I think we nailed it again. Cranberry, slight sweetness, beautiful salt. 51 or 57.1% alcohol by volume on the Korjevrekken. Salinity moves right down the palate. Beautiful whiskey. How's that chocolate? I already knew the answer to that. Chocolate's delicious, always. You already knew that as well. And last but not least, a little bit of dehydrated apple. That's delicious. Right. Everybody's favorite time. I'm going to knock back this whiskey. Not that that's your favorite time, is watching me drink whiskey. Everybody's favorite time now, though, it's cocktail o'clock. So let's get down to it. We decided that Mountain Dew versus Irn Bru. Mountain Dew won handily. Absolutely handily. Hands down. I'm sorry, Scots. Y'all are my favorite people, but y'all got to make some better snacks, better carbonated beverages, please. You're nailing it on the whiskey front. Don't change a single thing. Stay golden. Right, here we go. Let's go ahead and make a tasty, delicious little cocktail. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a glass as well. I just purchased some new glassware as well. I'm very, very stoked about. We're going to use one of my favorite new glasses as well. As I take it out of the packaging. Maybe should have washed this. Who knows? Who knows? Let's go ahead and do it anyway. The zombie glass. Little zombie glass here. All right, so our cocktail today, very fun one, split-based cocktail where we're going to be using Glenmorangie Original as well as Korjevrekken from Ardbeg. Before we get to doing that, because we're smart bartenders at home, we're going to use our citrus, our cheaper ingredients first. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got a little bit of lime. We're going to need about 3/4 of an ounce of lime. This is a really good lime. I was feeling it. Yeah, that's got enough citrus in there to get us there. That's perfect. All right, got enough lime there. We're gonna now go ahead and come behind that with about 1/2 ounce of apple infused honey. So I just took some of these dehydrated apples because that flavor is so nice and concentrated. And then I actually just kind of put them down into a little bit of honey syrup, allowed it to simmer for about 15 minutes. Great apple flavor that comes through. Next modifier, chartreuse. This is an Alpine episode, baby. National Mountain Day. I'm not going to be out here and not use one of the most famous Alpine liqueurs in the world. 1/2 ounce of green chartreuse. Oh, watch out there, tree. And lastly, our 2 single malt Scotch whiskeys. We're going to use 1 ounce of Glenmorangie Original to give us the structure, the body of the cocktail. And we're going to use about half an ounce of Ardbeg Korjevrekken to give us the raw power on the back end. And take us again right out into those mountains. All right. Oh, I almost forgot. We were going to use just a little bit of baby dill. Take some of that dill, take it off of the bitter pith right there, or the bitter spine. Now we're going to go ahead and add some cocktail. What a great aroma that gave that. What's up, Corey? All right. Johnny. Irn Bru is a religion. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't mean to diss it, you know, but it just was not better than Mountain Dew. And it's National Mountain Day, so how could I not? Right. This has got a really beautiful aroma to it already. Let's go ahead and get to shaking. Here we go. I'll also say that that's the reason why I'm wearing camo. I thought I was hilarious that I decided to wear camo on an outdoors alpine themed episode. I don't know about you, but like that's just one of the reasons I think that Whiskey Through Food is the greatest whiskey show on YouTube right now. Comedic timing, baby. All right. That should do it right there. Hey, hey, it's like we've done that before. There we go. Oh, don't nest your tins, that's gross. Even though it is my house. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of ice down into our zombie glass. And always make sure that you have your tools. We're gonna have our strainer. There's our strainer right there. And we're just gonna go ahead and strain this cocktail into its glass. Don't worry that it hasn't filled it all the way up, because you know what the last ingredient is. Everybody say it with me. Mountain Dew. The collaboration everybody wanted to see, Mountain Dew and Scotch whiskey. There we go. About 3.5, almost 4 ounces went into the glass there. And next we're just gonna kind of lift all the ingredients. We're not looking to get any added dilution. Just lift those ingredients so everything's nice and incorporated. And because wash lines matter around this household, I'm just gonna add just a skosh more ice. And that should be perfect. That's a beautiful wash line. And lastly, I'm gonna take another little sprig of dill, waft it across the glass, creating a lot of those aromatics. And there you have it. A delicious little national mountain day cocktail right here. Beautiful, beautiful little cocktail. Great aromatics on it. All right. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That is a delicious cocktail. Oh, God. That is wonderful. Dill is actually an aromatic and an herb that actually grows really well at high altitudes. I learned that specifically for National Mountain Day cocktails here. Dill, mint, tarragon, oregano all actually perform pretty well at higher altitudes as well. So if you live like out in Denver, please don't be afraid to plant yourself a little garden. You know, sustainable herb farming and herb gardening around the household. Always a great idea. That way you don't have to run to QFC like a loser like me, like I had to do. So maybe I take up gardening in early 2021. Who knows? We'll have to find out. So let's see how our food paired to the cocktail in and of itself. This is definitely something that would be refreshing for a nice little jaunt through the woods up to the mountains. Let's see about this apple. The crisp freshness of the apple still cuts through in the cocktail as well. You don't see as much of the apple flavor as I really thought would be communicated. And it may be overpowered because that green chartreuse, at an equal proportion, has a lot to say as well. but still the freshness is very much communicated. And I just absolutely love that. The chocolate, the salty aspect of the chocolate, still really beautiful. Who'd have thought Mountain Dew and chocolate? Citrus and chocolate usually go pretty well together. I can think of like sea salt, lemon, and continue to subscribe, continue to like our pages. Follow me at ardbegcam on Instagram, also Cameron George on Facebook, and of course ardbegcam on YouTube as well. I hope to bring so many more awesome food pairings and creative cocktails just like this to you. And this has been a great episode, but it's now the weekend, so let me get out of my house, get out into the mountains, do a little hiking with my dog, and I suggest you do the same. Until next time, Monday it should actually be. Until Monday, I'll see you later. Cheers, Salam Java. Have a great one.